welcome everyone to our October 5th TV Toastmaster meeting. And we are going to have a wonderful meeting tonight. We have a cameraman, and we will be having table topics. And I want to have a special welcome to our guest, Dave Delahunty. And first I will go over some business. So I have to remind everyone to silence their cell phones. And about the club business, we're in the I Loop East Division. The contest, the humorous speech and table topic contests will be Saturday, October 14th at noon at the BTC Kroger building on Grooms Road. And on Saturday, October 21st, one of our regular meeting days, we will be having an everyone welcome, all member meeting at 9 o'clock to 9:45 a.m. because we want to have everybody's input on plans for the future for our club. And then we'll have 15 minutes of socializing after that, and our regular meeting will start at 10.
Oh, it's not before?
And yes, our regular club meeting will start at 10.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The all-member meeting, planning meeting will start at 9.
Okay.
Okay. And also coming up is our District 40 conference, which will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, November 3rd, 4th, and 5th in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. And there we will have a keynote speaker who is one of the international directors of Toastmasters. And we will have the district contest for the humorous speech and table topics contest. And we have someone who MCs the meeting, and we call that person the Toastmaster. I'm your Toastmaster this evening. So welcome again, everyone, to our meeting. And I am to explain the components of our meeting. We will have the word of the day, grammarian person, who will be giving us a word of the day, which we try to use when we come up to the lectern. It gives us a little challenge when we're up here and we learn new words. And she will also be looking at our grammar, counting our ahs and ums, so's, buts, filler words, or any incorrect use of the English language. And after that, we will be having table topics, which is an impromptu speaking section. And during table topics, everyone's welcome to participate. You try to speak for a minute if you can, and the time is a minute to 2 minutes with a 30-second leeway at the end. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our word of the day grammarian person, Carol Cormalick.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and our most welcome guest, Dave Delahunty. My word of the day I have printed on the agenda, so the people at home won't be able to see it, but they'll listen. They'll have to listen to hear it. And the word of the day is vermilion, and you can spell it either with one L or two L's. It was interchangeable when I looked it up today. And it's a noun. It's a brilliant red pigment made from mercury sulfite, which is cinnabar. And the vermilion leaves are my favorite of the brilliantly colored autumn leaves. And your challenge is to use that in a sentence when you come up here. Not only do I count your ahs, ums, you know, should, some connecting, I always connect my sentences with and instead of a period. I've replaced the period on my sentences with and. And I also count lip smacks at the end of a sentence when you smack your lips. I also count those. And then when we do double clutches, that one is when we start to say a word and then we back up and start to repeat it, say something different. So that's called a double clutch, so I also count those. That's what I will be checking today, and see, your challenge is to use the word vermilion when you come up, and you could talk about if your face got red, you had this vermilion face when you did something embarrassing, whatever. But it was a great word. We used it at our Toastmaster meeting last night, and everybody used the word. It was a good word. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Carol. I will attempt to use the word today. I am a new author. I wrote my speech for a project in the storytelling manual, advanced storytelling manual in Toastmasters, and now it is a book entitled Flip Flap Try, A Cardinal's Journey. And the Cardinal Rainier, his color is vermilion. Long story to get to that. Moving right along, we will have our impromptu speaking portion of our meeting, table topics, which will be led by one of our newer members, Suzanne Whitrock.
Okay, so the first question I have, I love things that have to do with a day-to-day basis and how we live during the day. So my questions are kind of wrapped around that. And the first question I have, was there something you learned today, and what was it? And this first question goes to Jeanette Castling. We have 1 to 2 minutes. Thank you. Was there something you learned today, and what was it?
Thank you, Madam Table Topic Master. Something that I learned today, I think that we learn every day of our lives. And it's good to try new things. Today, I had the opportunity to order a plane ticket. And in the process of doing so, the mouse on my computer wasn't moving very well. So I had to tap it and hit it and whatever. I finally finished, after several corrections, of course, on my plane reservation, finally finished ordering my plane ticket. And it was later today when I told my husband about the problems I had. He goes, well, the light, it's the kind of mouse where there's a light, and he says maybe it's low on batteries. So I learned today how to open up the mouse and take out the old batteries and put in new batteries. Now my mouse works excellent, and I will be able to order as many plane tickets as I want. Okay, thank you.
Here is one that comes very much from the heart. Did you show somebody today that you love them, and how did you do it? Carol Cormelick. Did you show somebody today that you love them, and how did you do it?
I showed several people today that I love them, because I had 2 of my nieces that came to help me today. One of them helped me, she cleans my house, and the other helps me organize it, because I'm I teach clean up the clutter because I am a clutterer, and sometimes when I get so busy, one of the big ways that it's indecision. I don't know where to put things, and I'll get to it later, and then later never comes. So my niece that came this morning, I bought a toilet seat because the one in the basement had the hinge broke, and so I had to get a new one. So I said, okay, I'll put the brand new one with that non-slam lid. It just comes down really easy. I'll put that upstairs and put the upstairs one downstairs. My niece helped me do that, and she said, I think you better get some guy to do that. And I'm going, no, they told me I could do it. My friend, her dad and her uncle taught her how to use tools when she was young, and she can fix anything. So she showed me how to do that. And so we did that, and I thanked her, and I gave her a bonus. I pay her for cleaning my house, and I gave her a bonus. So that was the one. And then the other one, when she came, she helps. I hate slicing and dicing and, I forgot to turn on my thing, and cook vegetables and fruits. I try to eat a lot more vegetables and fruits. Well, I hate slicing and dicing, and so I reject it because it's too labor intensive. She doesn't mind, and she comes over there and she slices them all up and puts them in the water for me. So all I have to do is pick them out and steam them, whatever I'm going to do with them. So I thanked her and gave her a big hug, and she helped me. She tells me when I'm going away next week, and she picked out all the clothes that I should be wearing, this day and this day and this day, and you don't need more than this, and you don't need more than but 1 or 2 pairs of shoes. You don't have to take a whole bunch of stuff if you pack wisely. That's what I learned today, and thanked people for helping me be more efficient and doing things that I don't like to do. And that is a good question. That was a good question. Thank you for that.
The next question I have is, why did you wear the outfit you're wearing today? And I think I'm going to ask myself this question. So why did I wear the outfit I'm wearing today? Actually, because it's usually very cold down here, so I needed something warm. That's why the blue jeans, long sleeves, and I love this top because, first of all, it has a lot of vermilion in it, and some of my favorite colors, and also my mother sent this to me from Austria. I think maybe for my birthday, I don't remember. But it just feels very comfortable and cozy, and it's nice and warm, so I just feel comfortable in it. And knowing that I have to do this job today, I needed something comfortable and close to my heart. So that is the reason I wore this outfit, and I think that's all I have to say about that. So thank you. And did you want me to ask some more questions? I have more. Sure. I can keep going. All right. The next question would be, what comes to your mind when you hear the words, "I told you so"? And I think this question I'm going to ask Jeanette. Janet, sorry, Janet.
I guess I've heard the words, "I've told you so," from my husband talking to me. And just thinking of one little example, we have the routine of making the bed together after I've washed the sheets, so you have to put all the mattress sheets and everything on the bed, and I have a particular way I want everything folded down at the top and what side of the sheet is up, things like that. And one time I asked my husband to make the bed or something, and he said, "Well, you won't like the way I do it." And of course, afterwards I had to change something at the top, and he said, "I told you so." So I guess my husband probably says that to me fairly frequently when I try to have him help me with something. So that is my I told you so story.
Right, thank you very much. All right, I have two more if you want them, if you like them, the time allows. Okay, so the next one would be, if you could live backwards in time, what time period would you choose and why? Dave, are you ready for another one?
Yeah. Thank you.
If you could choose to live backwards in
Time
time, what
period.
time period would you choose and why?
I believe I would go back to about the, probably right after the Civil War time era. Because that's when a lot of things were starting to change in this country with the technology and innovation and things like that that has been going on. And you'd be like on the ground floor, because when you see that the people that has lived in the last 100 years, that all the things that's taken place that they've seen in their life, basically somebody that's 100 years old today they came out of the horse and buggy era, and now they go from the horse and buggy era to sending messages on a computer or on these smartphones. So I would like to be a part of that. Thank you. Thank you.
And the next question is, what does the sentence "live in the moment" mean to you, Miss Carol Cormerick?
What does the sentence, live in the moment, mean to me? That's very hard for me to do because I'm always thinking ahead, thinking behind. And to me, that means concentrate on what you are doing at the moment. And my niece, when we were going to get some more clothes out of the basement for me to wear, because there are a couple things that need ironing that were still in the basement, and as I passed, I saw something else that needed to be done. She says, "You are so funny." She said, "Your mind's all over the place." And I have a hard time focusing. But when I do, when I write down what I'm going to do that day, and I don't have more than 10 items on the list, Gary Ryan Blair, who's my guru from the 100-Day Challenge, and he says he has a little Post-it notepad with 10. And you only write down 10 goals for the day, because if you had 20, you're probably not going to do them, but you're more likely to do 10. And that really helps me focus when I'm doing that. And that's my trying to focus, and is one of the hard things, to live in the moment. And because you have no guarantee, you can't save time. The only value of time is to spend it, and you can't borrow time. You have to use it, your 1,440 minutes a day, or they're wasted. And you can never recapture lost time. Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you very much. Those are all the questions I have. Madam Toastmaster?
Thank you. Thank you so much for those everyday questions. And I don't think anyone had a vermilion colored face when they got up here. We all survived. Except for mine, it's a little bit red. Okay. We are going to take a little intermission, and we'll be back after our intermission with the evaluation portion of our meeting. Thank you. Welcome back, everyone, to our TV Toastmaster meeting. Second half of our meeting will be the evaluation portion, and I am acting as the general evaluator today. And I will be calling on reports for the meeting. On meetings where we have speeches, I would be calling up the evaluators for the speakers. At this meeting, we had a table topic meeting. I would like to call on Carol Cormalick, who was our grammarian today, and also she'll have to stay up here. She was also the timer for our meeting. So, Carol Cormalick.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator. I'm all over the page because I didn't have 3 different papers doing the things, and I hope that I found it all here, that I know what I had. I will do the word of the day. I think everyone used the word of the day. Janet used it several times, at least 3 or 4, and Susan used it several times. I had a connector there, that and, I put sentences together. I used it 3 or 4 times and forgot to use it again in my vermilion reply on that. The thing that I noticed as to ums and ahs, Janet, I didn't hear any in your opportunity to order your plane ticket. And when I ordered my plane ticket, I got a notice back from Delta that the direct flight I had is now connecting in Atlanta, which I hate, and that I am in first class. They put me in seat 30, so we complained, and so now I have a flight going up to Detroit, which they fly direct to Tampa, and I'm in first class there, so I hope that doesn't happen to you. Dave, you're, you like to say you know several times. I heard that 3 or 4 times in your 2 times that you were up here. You also had only a couple and us, and a couple us, and 1 or 2 so's. That was all I heard, which is very good for a first time up here at the lectern. That is very good. Of course, I didn't count all mine. Susan, while you're wearing the outfit, you did use the word of the day, and I didn't hear any grammatical errors there. And Janet, I used the word of the day 2 times what comes to mind when your husband says, "I told you so." And Dave, see, I didn't need that and in there. I didn't have to start that sentence. I could have just said Dave. If you could live backwards, the time after the Civil War, I heard 2 us and 1 so during that, and several you knows. And you don't have to say those empty killer filler words. They don't add anything to the conversation, they detract. For the timing, and Jan, I didn't hear anything in your general evaluator. For the timing, as the Toastmaster, you had 5 minutes. You did not take 5 minutes. You still could have had more time there if you wanted. As the word of the day, I didn't time myself. As table topics, Janet, you were 1 minute and 15 seconds with your answer on what you learned today. Dave, you were 1 minute and 30 seconds on something that made you, what was that word, laugh today. If I don't write it right down, I don't remember it when you're 84 years old. I didn't count mine. My time was, I think it was 1 minute. Susan, while you're wearing your outfit, that was 1 minute and 1 second. Janet, what comes to mind when you hear "I told you so"? That was 1 minute and 15 seconds. Dave, if you could live backwards in time, you'd live after the Civil War, that was 57 seconds. 3 more seconds and you would have made it. And living in the moment, I was 1 minute and 50 seconds. And that is all the time that I have been recording. I would like to return it to our general evaluator again.
Now, I would like to evaluate the meeting as a whole. And I think we were strong but mighty tonight. And special thanks to Dave, our guest, for participating with the table topics. And I know our cameraman was doing his job back there. Yay. Oh. I should clap for everyone. Yes. Let's see. Our meeting, I think we started a little bit late. A little time for us to get organized. But since it was only a small number of us, we finished our meeting in record time. You see. Finished our meeting in less than half an hour. And I appreciate our table topic master, Suzanne, for coming up with extra table topic questions. And this was, I believe, her first time as table topic master. So let's congratulate Suzanne. And I always enjoy Carol's words of wisdom. So thank you, Carol. Welcome. Now it is time to close the meeting. We try not to say filler words. That's hard for me. But I had a wonderful time tonight at this meeting, and if you haven't been to Toastmasters, come visit us. We meet at the Anderson Community Building on 5 Mile Road, and we meet the first Thursdays of the month at 6 p.m. and the third Saturdays of the month at 10 a.m. Everyone is welcome. You don't have to bring anything, just show up and you can sit back and enjoy the meeting or participate. It's up to you, and take the time you need before deciding to join, if you care to join. Well, that about, does anyone have anything else they wanted to say? Pardon?
Did you get the guest comments?
Oh, we would like to ask our guest Dave if he has any comments he would like to make about her. Would you like to come up here and make a comment?
Well, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, so it's kind of different. It's been a long time since I've actually stood in front of people to talk. It's been over like 30-some years. Because when I was on the fire department, I had to do that. But that was talking fire department business, so I knew what I was talking about. So that was a lot easier. But it's not as jittery as I thought it would be. And I'm not a real good person with being off the cuff. So when you ask those questions like that, and, without given much time to think about it, you got to get up and say something, and you can't wait. You got to start speaking right away. So that was a kind of a challenge for me. So thank you.
Very good. We appreciate your comments. We have come to the end of our meeting, and hope that we'll have a wonderful time at our next meeting, and hope people enjoy watching the replay of our meeting at home. Thank you.